Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
It is the first Friday in March, and we are back with Network News at 7. I'm Krista Campbell. Here's a preview of what's to come. Grenadian boatmen claim Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard officers assaulted them, leaving one crewman badly injured. The Royal Grenada Police Force expressed concern with the level of violence among students. Macmillan Education Caribbean launched Let's Pass with Maths app. Schools reminded not to drop their guard amid a return on sporting activities. Regionally, St. Lucia's Tourism Minister buoyed by multiple cruise ships in port. And internationally, Europe's largest nuclear power station shelled by Russia in Ukraine. Coming up in sports, legendary Australian cricketer Shane Warne dies at the age of 52, while St. Andrews T20 cricket tournament to bowl off this weekend. The details right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
To all of our listeners on K105, to our viewers on GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20, and to those of you watching on our Facebook page, GBN Production YouTube channel, and our website at gbn.gd, we say a hearty welcome and thanks for joining us. 8 Grenadians aboard a cargo vessel that conducts business between Grenada and Trinidad say they are still shaken by their recent experience with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard last Wednesday, which landed one of their colleagues in hospital and in need of surgery. They say the incidents, which quickly escalated, came as a surprise to them. Rena Perth-Thomas begins our reporting tonight.
What was supposed to be a routine check within the waters of Trinidad and Tobago became a nightmare for an 8-member Grenadian crew aboard this vessel on Wednesday morning. Like every Tuesday, the vessel Rainier, along with its crew, left the docks of Grenville for Trinidad for its weekly trip on March 1st. At around 4 a.m. Wednesday morning, while in the waters of the neighboring island, they were stopped by Coast Guard for what was supposed to be a routine check. However, according to Keith Joseph, operator of Rainier, this check was different as they were greeted with hostility by officers, nothing like they had experienced over the years of sailing between islands. He claimed that one of the officers was using obscene language to them and pointed his gun in the direction of the crew.
My crew member here said, you better be careful with the pointing at a gun, because you had an incident where a kid was accidentally shot and killed, and that made it even more worse. And he said, you know what, we're taking you guys to the base. The captain said, why you don't want to take us to the base? Because it's kind of difficult to maneuver in there. We've never been in there before with that boat, and she's pretty heavily laden. And he continued to say, well, you heard what he's saying. You're not deaf. Bring the so-and-so boat in there.
Joseph said the crew complied and followed the officers to the base of the vessel, but what happened next terrified them.
Then, one guy, the same guy who boarded the boat, jumped on board and just pulled the captain off, pushed him off onto the docks. Brutalized, slapped, kicked, punched, thrown to the ground. And the same guy pointed to my crew member who mentioned to him about the shooting incident with the Coast Guard, and he said, I want you to come down. So he proceeded, and as he landed there, two of them jumped on him. Slaps, kick, punch, he fell to the ground. They continued kicking him. I tried to shout to them to stop.
The operators said they were scared for their lives at the moment. A few minutes later, one plain-clothed officer, who they concluded to be a superior, came to the docks and spoke to the Coast Guard. It was only after that encounter that the officers returned to the crew and told them that they can leave. The crew member was later hospitalized at the Port of Spain General Hospital for several injuries, one of which he now requires surgery for. While the matter was reported to the relevant authority, Joseph said he will not leave this undone, as his crew member needs to be compensated for his injuries and the violation of his rights.
These are the reasons that we're going to take it legally to make somebody responsible, because we cannot be responsible. This is not a simple surgery. It's not a cheap surgery. Okay, so the Coast Guard, the Trinidad government, somebody has to take responsibility for that. I'm in a position to stand up, and I'm not afraid to stand up. It's the guys' rights. It's our rights. It's human rights. It involves everyone. It's not just us, because what if that happened to us? We trade with Trinidad every week. What will happen to a foreign vessel? People who can't speak English fall into their hands.
Akeva Augustine, the young man who was hospitalized due to the incident, spoke of his injuries.
I started speed blood on my face. I got a broken bone, 2 places on my face. Painful, I getting pain in the left side of my head. Real pain. I can't really watch in the sunlight because it make me eye glory.
Trinidad Coast Guard is already under the microscope for the killing of an infant after Coast Guard officers opened fire on a boat carrying Venezuelan immigrants last month. The RGPF, when asked about this incident, told GBN that they were unaware and will make contact to ascertain a report on this matter. GBN will reveal to you more about the story as it unfolds. Standing outside of Grenville Port, I am Rena Pitt Thomas reporting.
And we thank Rena for that report. The Royal Grenada Police Force is condemning the act of violence inflicted on a mentally ill man by young boys. Some of the video footage in this report may be deemed to be disturbing for some viewers. As such, viewers' discretion is advised for this Chrislina John report.
A video making its rounds on social media shows a mentally ill man being viciously attacked by 2 teenagers, one of whom is a student of one secondary school in St. Andrew. Officer in charge of the Community Relations Department, Assistant Superintendent Desmond Richards, says he is saddened by these acts of violence that appear to be quite prevalent.
Coming to the point with the video that has surfaced on Tuesday with these 2 young men in the area of Pleasance in St. Andrews, beaten, horribly so, this mentally ill. And I want to stress this: it's a mentally ill patient that has been beaten, that has been planus, that is treated in this way. This is very touching. I looked at it and thought, what if it was my own father? And I hope the young man is sitting down now and thought, what if it is my father that was mentally ill? And even if he did something wrong, or allegedly did something wrong in your view, understand this: he's not a normal person as the rest of us. He has a challenge and he needs help. He doesn't need to be brutalized and abused and beaten in this manner.
The 2 boys are being questioned by police.
The 2 young men were detained. Of course, you'll notice from the age, they are minors. So they were detained, they were questioned. All the necessary information were gathered. The investigation is still continuing. And I believe in my last communication, we are now awaiting the medical form so that we can adequately know what it is to charge for. because you have to wait for that form to come back so the doctor will pen whether it's dangerous harm, causing harm, whatever he would, and then we proceed further.
This matter and those of that nature, the RGPF promises to not treat lightly. The ASP says they are working with stakeholders to curb these acts of violence in society. The ASP implores people to show a bit more empathy and to think before taking certain actions.
Police force, we will leave no stone unturned to ensure that matters as these are investigated and investigated thoroughly and justice is served. We want to assure the public that, notwithstanding what it may look like, we are developing mechanisms, developing strategies to deal with them. And we will deal with them, with the help, of course. When something is happening, as bad as it might be, as terrible as it might look, persons seem to take joy in videoing, in taking pictures, and sometimes even while they're on the same scene, sending out these pictures to social media, not understanding the impact it can have. Now,
meanwhile, in a separate incident, another video that went viral showed a young man carrying a weapon during the St. Joseph's Convent Sport Day on Thursday. The officer also spoke on that incident.
The police attended to that matter. However, when they got to the stadium, the athletic stadium, they did not meet any fight, any altercation at all. But a cutlass was handed to them, taken from one of the persons that we believe were part of the altercation, and but no names were given, no formal report was made.
No one was hurt, and the officer thanked persons who got involved before it escalated into something more serious. Krista John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, no charge yet. However, according to police report, one man remains in police custody assisting with the investigation into an altercation and subsequently the death of 2 residents of St. Patrick. Officer in charge of the Community Relations Department, Desmond Richards, provided an update.
We still have a gentleman assisting in the investigation. As I said, it's ongoing. And no charges have been laid yet. The investigation is still new, and of course, in matters like these, all the I's must be dotted and the T's crossed.
Reports indicate that before Wednesday's fire that claimed the lives of both the mother and the son in Meday, St. Patrick, the deceased man was stabbed during an altercation with another male in the area, just a few feet from his home. In an attempt to get help, it is reported that the victim drove his vehicle to his home but hit a gas cylinder situated in an outside garage. Reports are that the gas cylinder exploded and burst into flames, catching the house on fire. The victim's mother, who was bedridden, also perished in the blaze that gutted their home. ASP Richards says an investigation takes on a process and cannot be rushed.
One of the worst things you can find is hurrying an investigation and missing some salient or critical parts of the evidence, and then you have somebody escape not because they were not guilty, but because of the technicality or the incomplete investigation by officers. And we really don't want these things happen. We want, when we investigate, it is thorough, it is well done, and we can present a matter case on the basis of the facts and the evidence collected.
Crime prevention comprises strategies and measures that seek to reduce the risk of crimes occurring and their potential harmful effects on individuals and society. The Criminal Investigation Department is urging the public to do their part in removing opportunities for crime to take place.
Crime prevention was the focus of Thursday's To The Point program with Detective Corporal Terrell Jackasel of the Criminal Investigations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. A crime, as stated by the detective, is a breach of the law for which a penalty is attached. Jackasel says a crime triangle is a triangle that represents 3 elements that have to be present in order for a crime to be committed.
So at the top of the crime triangle, you have the target or the victim. And on the bottom parts of the triangle, you have, at one side, you have the culprit or the offender, and on the other side, you have the situation or the opportunity. So again, according to crime prevention theorists, there has to be these three elements present for a crime to be committed.
Detective Jackasal continued that in order for one to prevent a crime, they must disrupt the crime triangle.
Yes, you actually are in control of certain things, well, except the culprit or the offender. Right. All right, you're not in control of that person's intent, but you are in control of your own self, and you are in control, to some degree, the opportunities that are made available. And that's where we talk about crime prevention. What is crime prevention? Crime prevention is all about avoiding or stopping a crime from being committed. As I mentioned, disrupting the crime triangle. The goal of crime prevention is to reduce your risk of becoming a victim and reducing the opportunities of the offender to take advantage of you or your property.
He detailed some strategies that can be used.
For example, we have target hardening. Now, target hardening is making it more difficult for an offender to commit a crime. And that is totally within your control as a victim or a possible target. And we're going to explain some ways that we can get that done shortly. We also have target removal, which is reducing the payout for the offender. For example, if you operate a business and you collect cash, you might have your cash tills available and within view of a potential offender. And we're simply saying that you just have to remove the cash till from public view, all right? We also have things like removing the means to commit a crime. Now, for example, persons might have a ladder outside of the house. A ladder is a potential tool that an offender can use.
For GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.
Macmillan Education Caribbean launched Let's Pass with Maths app. The details to this and more after the break.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact a Riser Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
The next chapter in West Indies' biggest rivalry continues. West Indies flies against England for the Apex Test Series in 3 test matches. Tickets start as low as $20 and local residents enjoy an additional 50% discount with online purchase. Must be fully vaccinated to attend all matches and COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. Secure your seats to the action. Get your tickets in advance at windiescricket.com/tickets. Terms and conditions apply.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Thanks for staying with us. The situation remains unchanged on day 2 after operations at the St. George's Port were brought to a halt on Thursday. Here's Jared Joseph with the latest update.
What should have been a busy day at the St. George's Port for a normal Friday operation was instead an apparent ghost town, as some operations remain halted. The situation stemmed from a mandate by some of the workers represented by the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union.
But we need to have this engagement to address the issue of procedure and protocol as a matter of urgency. And the mandate from the workers, is that there will be no other engagement unless this meeting has been held.
Such a decision was taken following the controversy surrounding an ongoing FIU investigation into irregularities in the Grenada Ports Authority internal audit, whereby officers attached to the unit approached workers while on the job to accompany them to assist with investigations. TAU had contended that the action taken was pursuant to ongoing negotiations as to how the police conduct investigations at the port. General Manager of GPA, Franklin Redhead, had strongly condemned the action taken by the union as illegal.
GPA disagrees with this very strongly. If we have discovered any irregularity, we have an obligation, we have a fiduciary obligation to pass that on to the appropriate national body for investigation, which we have done. As far as we know, FIU is now in the process of interviewing persons pursuant to that investigation. I think the union took umbrage to that the FIU would have come to the port and asked a particular person to accompany them for an interview.
GBN was informed that a number of people who showed up at the port on Friday to conduct business were left with no alternative but to leave. GBN was able to reach out to President General of TAU, Andre Lewis, who relayed that a meeting among Labour Minister Peter David, Labour Commissioner Cyrus Griffith, TAU, and the management of the Grenada Ports Authority was held on Friday. Lewis says the meeting was a positive step and a follow-up is expected next week. However, the status quo in terms of operations at the port remains the same until the issue is resolved. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
In Infrastructure Minister Norland Cox says, contrary to beliefs, significant work has been done on the Guave Health Center. Located at the foot of Dr. Bell in Guave, St. John, the facility was expected to be completed last year. Minister Cox says the project completion has been delayed by an electrical issue surrounding a pole to be replaced by a Grenlec, as well as some boundary matters to be addressed.
So for the past couple of weeks, we have been trying to finalize that. But for the most part, in terms of the building, that is completed. The furnitures, everything for inside, the refrigerators, everything for the clinic, that is procured and it is on island. So the Ministry of Health, they are ready to move on that. And when I come back next time, I think I'll be able to give you a definitive time when we would have an opening ceremony or when the project will be finally closed off.
The minister notes that there were some additional delays with the progress of construction due to changes in the scope of work needed. However, that has been finalized.
If you pass there recently, you would see the walkway along the roadway, barricade. There is a railing so that persons can enter to and from the clinic safely, just so that they don't get in traffic issues. Actually, the center is being used. There is minimal use of the center currently. So there is some clinic activity taking place there. We have been using it for vaccination.
Students in Grenada, Antigua, and the rest of the Caribbean now have additional materials to assist them as they prepare for their upcoming CPEA exams on the 12th and 13th of May. Macmillan Education Caribbean on Wednesday launched an app that offers students a fun way to learn mathematics, which makes it an accessible and engaging learning tool for students revising for the upcoming CPEA exams.
Let's Pass CPEA Maths is a new app developed to make math fun and provides a digital facet to revision for the upcoming Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment CPEA Maths exam carded for the 12th and 13th May. The app was launched and created by Macmillan Education Caribbean, one of the world's leading publishers of educational and general interest books for and about the Caribbean. It offers students a chance to learn and put their learnings into practice. The learning sections is divided into 16 topics of digestible bite-sized study, while the practice section provides half and full-time revision quizzes. Alex Holder, communications and marketing consultant at Macmillan Education Caribbean, explains.
In their downtime, maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, or while they're in commute with their parents from school going home, the app is with them, and they have real-time assessment, real-time math scenarios, all of these things. So as they're going through the revision process, they're being graded instantly. So they are seeing exactly where their mistakes are, what improvements they should make, and the app also adapts to the user. So as the child uses it, of course, it recognizes their weaknesses and it continues to push them in the direction that should help them build on those weaknesses.
As technology remains ever popular and the way of learning evolve due to the impact of COVID-19, Holder hopes that the app will help evaluate the issue of poor maths performance in the Caribbean.
The various governments on the CPEA curriculum, we also produce the past papers, which essentially, with the past papers being in our possession, we know exactly what students are what students should be expecting. So with that, we have been able to develop the app that is not just in keeping with, let's say, last year's past papers, but years before that and before that and before that. And since we also produced the curriculum or the study books for the schools, we also have a pretty deep insight as to what the students should expect.
The app is available in Apple App Stores and Google Play. For GBN News, I am Rena Thomas reporting.
Thank you, Rena. GBN captures the thoughts of Grenada's public sphere through its Social Buzz platform. We go over to GBN's Sherry and Blackman Stephen for tonight's Social Buzz report.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
A family member of Derek John, who was killed in 2011, expressed frustration over delays in the court proceedings. GBN brought you this story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Neva Newman commented, "But the justice system does work speedily. Look at the businessman who was sentenced to 10 months for an assault on a police officer. So, does the justice system work conveniently?" Desiree Dumont added, "This is the nonsense that goes on with the court system. Lady, it has matters long before that and can't come to a conclusion." Diane Thomas says, Bushead getting justice within approximately 4 days, but murder has to wait years for justice? So pathetic. And finally, Glenroy St. Louis concludes, "It's long overdue that an independent body is put in place to determine the years of delay of some cases. Some attorneys should be investigated too, because on several occasions they failed to attend court without informing their clients that there will be a no-show. Not surprising to be attacked on this platform by those who never experienced these inconveniences and think that these behaviors are normal." And that's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And we thank Sherian for that synopsis. Still to come, schools reminded not to drop their guard amid return on sporting activities. This is Network News at 7.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
No frills, just great prices, only at Quartz. We don't just talk about it, we've got it. Shop with confidence and save big. Up to 50% off appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. Plus, pay with ready finance and get 1 month free. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
It's finally here. The long-awaited historical drama, Julian Fedon, is finally here. One man with a sense of destiny. 14,000 slaves with a dream and a promise.
Tonight we stand our ground. Tonight we stand on the side of history.
Julian Fedon, presented by Heritage Theatre Company in conjunction with the Grenada Broadcasting Network, the Grenada Cooperative Bank, the Grenada National Lotteries Authority. Opening Saturday, 12 February, 7 p.m. at the Trade Center and continuing. Experience the conflict.
Close down their churches, every one of them.
Feel the passion. The epic drama of a people caught up in a desperate struggle for freedom.
Seems to me like you are trying to get yourself killed.
Julian Fedon, bring out the entire family and enjoy an experience in Grenadian theatre.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Welcome back. Chief Education Officer Angela Finley says schools should remain cognizant of the fact that COVID-19 still exists amid the resumption of sporting activities.
Many schools, having written, became quite anxious when February came and there were no responses forthcoming. But as you know, Ministry of Education takes guidance from the Ministry of Health and the Cabinet of Grenada. And the COVID task force had to meet and make various assessments and so of situation. So it was only last week that we got, well, not last week, but Monday actually, at the end of Monday, that we got word that schools were cleared to have various their sports meet and other sporting activities during the term. Of course, we were advised to remind them that the threat of COVID is still very present, so that they should take all necessary precaution to preserve lives and livelihood.
Sporting activities resumed after the Education Ministry gave the green light after a 2-year hiatus due to the pandemic. Schools must notify the Ministry of Education of the days for sporting activities. The St. Joseph's Convent held a scaled-down version of their annual sports on Thursday. Keith Williams, a teacher at the St. Joseph's Convent St. George, said they were grateful for the opportunity.
We all know that the COVID pandemic has made us quite sedentary. So it has been for a long time that all of us have been home on this virtual platform, and it has been very difficult for teachers as well as students in not having the ability to really interact, to play, to have fun. So when the decision was made that we come back face to face totally, the management team at the St. Joseph's Convent St. George's, and I'm sure other schools as well, took the decision to really have sports, but we decided to have sport day because not everybody will be a competitor, to say, in the 100, the 200. So we have decided that we have a fun day. It's a physical education activity, and physical education aims to develop the holistic person. So we decided to cater for everybody.
Michael Anthony Burrell, a 59-year-old Jamaican citizen and a construction worker residing at Confer St. George, was arrested and charged by officers attached to the drug squad units with 2 counts of trafficking in a controlled drug and 1 count of attempting to export a controlled drug. The charges were laid after a search was conducted at his home and on his person, where the following items were discovered: a black plastic bag containing 1 pound of cocaine with an estimated street value of $45 and 2 bottles of hair product tested positive with the presence of cocaine. Also found was a piece of paper bearing a name, a United Kingdom address, a telephone number, and a receipt bearing the name of a local shipping agency. On Wednesday, 2nd March 2022, Michael was taken to the agency where a large box was retrieved and opened in his presence. The box contained spices, seasonings, cocoa powder, honey, syrup, and coffee. Upon further inspection of each of the products, a total of 15 packages were concealed within the good, containing 2.3 kilograms of cocaine. The estimated street value is approximately $233,000. He was also charged by officers attached to the Immigration Department for overstaying his time in the state of Grenada. Michael appeared at the St. George's Magistrate Court on Friday, 4th March 2022, and was remanded to Her Majesty Prison to reappear in court on Monday, 14th March 2022. Our citizen journalist captured a rather peculiar fruit. Let's take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens to find out what it is.
A good eye captures all. GBN eyesore is brought to you by ClearVision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. ClearVision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ClearVision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's eyesore features a peculiar photograph of a pink grapefruit with one section or peg the color of a regular grapefruit. The Hayden family said they have never seen this in all of their years of cutting citrus. After tasting the peg separately, it was noted that they tasted the same. Have you seen this or anything like it before? Let us know when you send your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And we thank our citizen journalists for submitting that peculiar photo. Up next, we take a look at sporting highlights and we will probe around the globe for the latest developments. Stay with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spiceisle Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spiceisle Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spice Cell Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grand Anse. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services: CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679 or 406-1500 or visit any of our 3 locations. Spice Cell Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now! We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carrico. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
She was my life, caring for me, loving me from a baby. COVID came and she never left the house. She felt safe there. Just turned 80. She kept saying, "Son, go take the vaccine so you could come and see me. I miss you." And never did. Because I'm young and I'm strong, and people on Facebook say the vaccine don't really protect you. I went to see her because I thought I was fine. I had no symptoms. She was so happy to see me. I had COVID and I did not even know. Being vaccinated would have helped. I just know it. I just know it. I'm so sorry, Granny. I'm so sorry.
This message is brought to you by the Grenada COVID Crisis Group and the Grenadians United in Virginia.
Time to take a look at our sporting highlights. Tonight we begin with what is devastating news for many. Legendary Australia leg spinner Shane Warne, one of the greatest cricketers of all time, has died of a suspected heart attack at the age of 52. Warne took 708 test wickets, the second most of all time, in 145 matches across a stellar 15-year international career. He had been found unresponsive in his villa on the Thai island of Koh Samui on Friday. Former West Indian player Grenada's Junior Murray says it is a very sad day for cricket.
And for cricket in Australia, I think they lost a legend, one of the greatest leg spinners that played the game of cricket. You know, me as a youngster coming up playing for West Indies at a very tender age, playing against Shane Warne, it was a serious experience. You know, one of the greatest leg spinners of all time, bowling 6 different type of balls. You know, it was nowhere what to play at. Also, and it's really a sad day.
Warne helped Australia win the 1999 50-over World Cup and claimed 293 dismissals in 194 one-day internationals between 1993 and 2005. Murray reminisces on some of the moments playing against the Australian legend.
I got the upper hand of him. Hit him a few sixes, out of Annisville playing field. But they lost a good guy, a good cricketer, and I'm still in shock. I just cannot believe when I got the news this morning. I was really shocked and just couldn't believe it. But as you know, these things happen. That day, and I hope that probably something could be done whereby we can pay a proper tribute to one of the greatest cricketers of all time.
Grenada's own cricketing legend says Shane Warne is an icon and modeled for young cricketers to emulate.
Yes, I think he's one of the guys that any cricketer, any youngster coming up, any leg spinner coming up in the game can look up to. Probably go back and look at some of the videos to learn the art of leg spin. And it's just a sad day. I'm talking to you now, and probably it's my eyes are very teary. Losing a great youngster, a great cricketer. So I just hope that as I said before, something should be done so whereby he can be represented, and given the tribute that he needs.
In 2000, he was named one of the 5 Wisden cricketers of the century. Still with some somber news from down under. Legendary Australia wicketkeeper Rod Marsh has died aged 74 after suffering a heart attack. Marsh was taken ill last Thursday while travelling to a charity cricket match in Queensland. He effected 355 dismissals, a world record at the time of his retirement in 96 test appearances for Australia from 1970 to 1984. He also played 92 one-day internationals and served as Australia's men's chairman of selectors until 2016. Marsh is third on Australia's all-time dismissals list behind Adam Gilchrist with 416 and Ian Healy's 395. On a lighter side, the St Andrews Cricket Council is bowling off its inaugural Andre George St Andrews Cricket T20 tournament this weekend following a delay due to the inclement weather last weekend. President of the St Andrews Cricket Council, Terry Hilaire, says an exciting competition is expected with 24 registered teams playing in 4 venues. Hilaire says some of the bigger playing fields are being used with 6 teams at each venue in a round-robin format, with the top 2 teams qualifying for the quarterfinals. Matches are scheduled to be played on Saturday and Sunday from 1 p.m. And finally, West Indies women captain Stephanie Taylor says it's probably her best move as a skipper, as DeAndre Doughton demanded the ball in the last over, which led to victory over New Zealand in their opening contest of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. A magnificent century from Hayley Matthews was the perfect start to the global event as Matthews made 119. The visitors scored 259.9 of their 50 overs.
Yeah, well, I think from the time that we went out there, DeAndre faced the first ball and hit it for 4 and kind of set the tone from there on. And yeah, I think it was just really about playing myself at the crease the entire time, looking to build partnerships, and I think my teammates did a really good job of just batting around me.
It was a successful return to the top of the batting order as she hit 16 fours and a 6 off 128 balls to record her first World Cup century and 3rd for the West Indies overall.
Yeah, I think obviously coming into the tournament, first game of a World Cup, you always want to win. Furthermore, against the host New Zealand, who've been playing some really, really good cricket. So yeah, I think to come out here and play the way we did, to come and defend the runs like we did, definitely puts down a statement. And yeah, it just sends confidence to the entire team, and hopefully we can carry that through the tournament.
Here are some of the match highlights as Doughton defended just 6 runs in the final over.
It's a very busy start to this campaign, 3 consecutive days of cricket, and there, yes, hey, in the air and over the top of cover, so the West Indies strike early, and the first boundary from the very first ball.
Goes after the bouncer, does Nation. A lot of work to be done.
Can those hamstrings get her back for 2? Can she tuck in and tuck out again? She can. Can she get home? She does. Down the pitch. Oh, maximum all the way for 6. Slower ball, toe end of the bat, but I think she's hit it pretty well.
Plays goes across it. It's full, it's straight, and it's given. There's the breakthrough. The partnership comes to an end. A quick chat. Through up, Satisfy, then to Hoo-Hoo. Anissa Muhammad is making a name for herself.
This time gone. This time the fielder takes the catch. There is that slip. There is that slip. Excellent captaincy.
She gets the single she needs. She gets to 100. That is number 6 for Sophie Devine, her second in the World Cup. Somebody out here. It's straight, the big shout. It's given out. It's given out. What about the moment? Straight away. Smacked. And gone. Gone. Miracle wicket here. Straight through the keeper. They can't run it by. It's panic situation. And I think the West Indies have won.
That's our sporting highlights for now, but do stay with us for a global update. Thanks for joining tonight's probe. We start off in St. Lucia, where the tourism minister is buoyed by multiple cruise ships in port, and officials are encouraged by what they term as outstanding arrival numbers. We cross over to HTS News Force for this report.
5 cruise ships dropped anchor in Port Castries on Tuesday, March 1st. For tourism officials, the sight of the floating cities in the natural Castries harbour highlights the continued recovery of the island's tourism sector. Minister Ernest Hilaire says stakeholders are encouraged by what they characterize as outstanding arrival numbers.
It is a sign of the cruise ship, industry really starting to pick up again. They have faced some really challenging times. As you can imagine, the nature of a cruise, the nature of a cruise ship and its operations, the whole coronavirus pandemic has really affected them. Even when the ship started to sail again, they could not do so at full capacity.
Moreover, Hilaire believes it's indicative of growing confidence in the island as a safe destination with a strong management of COVID-19. He is convinced that this is the impetus behind flotilla of vessels parked portside at the picturesque capital.
We are seeing gradually an increase in that capacity, and we're seeing more cruise ships are now, sailing and certainly coming to the port. We still have issues, though, in sorting out with vendors and creating the bubble. And this has been a very difficult issue and vexing issue for us to resolve, because the cruise ships still want passengers to go out on tours that are within a bubble and confined. And therefore, we're hoping by the time the season reopens, we'll be able to sort out all those issues and it will be a different landscape.
St. Lucia remains a premier destination for visitors looking to get away from the colder temperatures during the winter season. Officials now have their eyes set on the summer, with the hopes that the island will continue to attract cruise ship after cruise ship to Port Castries.
Internationally, world leaders have accused Russia of endangering the safety of an entire continent after its forces shelled a nuclear power plant station in southern Ukraine. A fire broke out at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, the largest in Europe, after it was attacked by Russia, but authorities say the facility is now safe and radiation levels are normal. We get more in this report.
This is a moment to wake world leaders up at night. the dramatic shelling of Europe's largest nuclear power plant of its type, a few hundred kilometers from where the Chernobyl nuclear accident occurred. It may have just been a training building that was hit, but
this has never happened before. A nuclear power plant has never come under attack like this. This is tank fire. This is not a terrorist trying to get in here. This is armored vehicles shelling a nuclear power plant. I cannot overstate how serious this situation is.
The Zaporizhzhia reactors in Ukraine's southeast now center stage as the war intensifies into its second week. President Zelensky accused Moscow of nuclear terror.
We need to stop the Russian military immediately. Scream to your politicians. Ukraine is 15 nuclear units. If there is an explosion, it is the end of everything, the end of Europe.
The US says reactors are being safely shut down, urging the Russians to stop fighting. But Russian aggression in the northern city of Chernihiv is unrelenting, shelling pounding the place, sending mothers into underground bunkers for days. Russia's also closing in on the strategic coastal city of Mariupol, as its mayor says there's no power or water. The BBC asked a former Ukrainian president, now armed for the front line in the capital Kyiv, how much of a blow defeat here would mean.
First of all, please believe we don't lose Mariupol. We don't lose Kharkiv. We don't lose Kiev. Putin, forget about that. The whole nation is beating Putin.
But with this Russian military convoy edging ever closer to Kyiv, fears there will be many more refugees to come.
Russia is now the subject of a war crimes investigation as its invasion enters a second week. The first major city appears to have fallen to Vladimir Putin's army, but there is still fierce resistance from the Ukrainian people.
Another night in Kiev. Another night under siege. Explosions shatter the darkness in the city centre. At least one blast near the train station. This reporter live on air. That was close. Vladimir Putin's tactics in Ukraine are not just war, but war crimes, according to the UK and a coalition of countries. And they've now referred Russia to the International Criminal Court.
In the use of the munitions that they have already been dropping on innocent civilians, Mr. Speaker, in my view, already fully qualifies as a war crime.
An investigation launched immediately. Ukraine's president called this attack on the eastern city of Kharkiv a war crime too. More than 20 civilians dead and scores injured, but Ukrainian forces are clinging to control.
Show this to those in Russia.
They won't surrender in Energodar, home to Europe's largest nuclear plant. Townsfolk rushing to form a human blockade when they heard Russian troops were approaching. But there are reports the enemy has seized its first major city, the strategic southern port of Kherson. US intelligence denies it's fallen. However, the mayor says Ukrainian troops have withdrawn and says of the Russians, I've just asked them not to shoot people. Ukraine says its civilian death toll is now topped 2,000. The United Nations estimate is lower, 750. And for the first time, we've heard a figure for Russian casualties. 498 soldiers killed, 1,600 wounded. Some remain where they fell. This tank in Bucha, now a young man's tomb. Others have been captured. Here, a young Russian in tears as he's given a chance to call his mum. Not everyone back home supports Putin's war. Where the war goes from here may depend on the 64-kilometre column of Russian tanks stalled outside Kyiv with food and fuel shortages and possible sabotage from soldiers who don't want to advance. The wait is giving Ukrainians who want to flee more time to find a way out. 1 million gone already, now refugees in neighbouring countries. Those who've chosen to remain must queue for medicine and groceries. A battle now to survive and stay alive.
And that's a wrap for tonight's probe. A review of the main points is next. headlines. Grenadian boatmen claim Trinidadian and Tobago Coast Guard officers assaulted them, leaving one crewman badly injured. The Royal Grenada Police Force expressed concern with the level of violence among students. Macmillan Education Caribbean launched Let's Pass with Maths app. Schools reminded not to drop their guard amid return on sporting activities. Regionally, St. Lucia's Tourism Minister buoyed by multiple cruise ships in port. And internationally, Europe's largest nuclear power station shelled by Russia in Ukraine. In sports, legendary Australian cricketer Shane Warne dies at the age of 52, while St. Andrews T20 cricket tournament to bowl off this weekend. That's the news for now, but you can stay updated via our social media platforms. That is our Facebook page at Grenada Broadcasting Network, our current YouTube channel at GBN Production, and our website at gbn.gd. You can also take a look at the 10 a.m. rebroadcast of tonight's newscast if you missed any part of it. I am Krista Campbell, thanking you for joining us, and the Team GBN wishes you a fantabulous weekend.